Lisbon Alfama Luxury, Vintage Parisian Country Apartment Decor 2025. How are you today? Welcome to the Styled Space. I'm MJ. Discover how to layer European antique pieces, botanical elements, and rich textures to create a luxuriously inviting Parisian-inspired sanctuary in your own home. This comprehensive guide reveals professional styling techniques, curated decor strategies, and authentic vintage maximalist principles that will elevate your interior aesthetic. Learn to embrace eclectic design, celebrate collected treasures, and create spaces overflowing with character and warmth. Like and subscribe for more sophisticated home design inspiration. Vintage living room, foundation of French maximalist elegance. The living room serves as your maximalist sanctuary's foundation, where vintage botanical prints in ornate frames dance across cream walls in artistic conversation. Layer a jewel-toned velvet sofa in rich terracotta with antique wooden coffee tables showcasing collected treasures, creating a sophisticated gathering space that whispers European luxury. Herringbone flooring grounds the composition, while arched windows flood the room with natural luminescence, allowing candlelight to flicker across brass accents and botanical arrangements in sensory harmony. Dining nook, where vintage tapestries tell stories. Transform intimate dining spaces into narrative-rich environments where vintage tapestries in saturated jewel tones become bold focal points commanding attention. Position round wooden pedestal tables surrounded by vintage chairs upholstered in patterned fabrics that echo European countryside traditions, creating a tableau vivant of culinary elegance. Ornate chandeliers cast warm golden hour light across botanical artwork displayed in black frames, establishing an enchanting ambience that transports diners to romantic Parisian establishments. Kitchen, open shelving as edible art gallery. The kitchen transforms into an artisanal gallery where open shelving displays vintage ceramics and antique dishware like museum-quality specimens, each piece telling stories of European craftsmanship. Black cabinetry with brass hardware provides sophisticated contrast, while warm wood countertops support vintage copper cookware hung as functional sculpture, creating visual rhythm and tactile richness. Arched windows frame potted herbs and florals, establishing a culinary theater where cooking becomes performance art infused with maximalist passion. Gallery wall, orchestrating artistic eclectic harmony. Master the art of visual composition by orchestrating mixed-size vintage frames in varying finishes: gold, brass, dark wood, ornate scroll work, creating an eclectic symphony on cream backgrounds. Layer botanical prints, antique maps, classical artwork, and oil paintings hung at varying heights to establish dynamic visual movement and intellectual depth, transforming walls into personal museums celebrating collected aesthetic journeys. This carefully orchestrated chaos embodies maximalist philosophy, where each element reinforces the complete artistic narrative. Bohemian corner, intimate refuge within maximalism. Create sanctuary spaces with oversized wicker armchairs topped with cream cushions, surrounded by layered rattan baskets stacked in sculptural formations, establishing cozy havens within larger maximalist environments. Vintage side tables with brass accents hold steaming beverages and reading materials, while basket wall hangings and cascading potted trailing plants create vertical greenery that softens architectural lines. These intimate nooks celebrate slow living, encouraging respite and reflection amid aesthetic abundance. antique mirror display, multiplying light and visual depth. Curate sophisticated mirror collections in ornate gold and carved wooden frames hung on cream walls at varying sizes and shapes, creating architectural rhythm while multiplying light throughout spaces. Style displayed surfaces with vintage candlesticks, decorative objects, and botanical artwork interspersed strategically, establishing gallery-like arrangements that celebrate European luxury heritage. These reflective surfaces become functional art pieces, expanding perceived spaciousness while capturing and dispersing warm ambient illumination throughout rooms. Vintage bar cart, functional luxury in compressed form. Style ornate metal bar carts with wood shelves as miniature galleries displaying antique glassware, vintage bottles with precious patina, decorative decanters, and brass accessories arranged with curatorial precision. Crown these sculptural pieces with fresh flowers in vintage vases, positioned against cream walls adorned with botanical art, establishing functional luxury that celebrates conviviality and sophisticated entertaining traditions. Each bar cart component, glassware, vessels, textiles, becomes functional art reinforcing maximalist philosophy. Bedroom, textile layers creating luxurious refuge. Design bedroom sanctuaries by layering ornate iron bed frames with vintage damask bedding. Abundant throw pillows in diverse damask and floral patterns, creating tactile opulence that invites touch. Vintage wooden nightstands, topped with brass lamps featuring linen shades, provide warm pools of reading light, while botanical wallpaper accent walls establish sophisticated pattern play without overwhelming intimate spaces. Potted plants on windowsills connect interior retreats with natural world, establishing serene maximalist sanctuaries. Window styling. Textile architecture framing views. Master sophisticated window dressing by layering arched window frames with golden linen curtains, vintage damask sheer panels, and decorative rods featuring ornamental finials that become sculptural focal points themselves. Layer potted plants on windowsills and hanging from ceiling mounts, creating textural richness where natural light filters through accumulated eclectic pieces, establishing dimensional depth and sensory layering. Windows transform into architectural storytellers, framing both interior maximalist abundance and exterior urban landscape. Feature wall. Wallpaper as bold artistic statement. Feature ornate vintage damask or floral wallpaper in rich jewel tones or muted pastels as bold architectural statements that anchor entire rooms in sophisticated pattern play and historical referential design. Layer framed botanical prints directly on wallpaper surfaces. Arrange vintage furniture in front, establishing foreground interest, while golden light fixtures and decorative mirrors highlight wallpaper texture and pattern complexity. This architectural feature celebrates pattern maximalism while maintaining compositional coherence. Botanical corner. Green maximalism at peak expression. Celebrate plant maximalism by clustering multiple potted plants at varying heights, allowing trailing ivy to cascade from hanging planters in vertical green choreography that softens architectural lines. Display vintage terracotta and ceramic pots alongside ornate plant stands in brass or wrought iron, establishing sculptural plant displays that function as living artwork requiring daily care and attention. Layer botanical prints above plant clusters, creating visual continuity between artwork and living specimens. Floor design, rug layering as foundation art. Master sophisticated floor design by layering herringbone hardwood foundations with multiple vintage rugs in contrasting patterns and saturated color palettes, establishing visual movement underfoot that guides spatial navigation. Feature oversized Persian rugs as base layers in jewel tones, topped with smaller patterned runners, creating textural complexity and visual interest that anchors furniture arrangements while celebrating accumulated textile treasures. Rug layering represents maximalist philosophy made manifest in foundational design. Decorative shelving, curated collections as visual narrative. Curate wooden shelves displaying collected antique objects, vintage ceramics, and pottery arranged with thoughtful spacing that allows each piece individual visual presence while maintaining cohesive gallery aesthetic. Stack books with decorative items interspersed strategically. Position brass candlesticks and small sculptures, creating rhythm and visual flow that guides viewers through assembled collections. Integrate framed botanical art throughout shelving arrangements, creating thematic continuity between displayed objects and mounted artwork. Accent lighting, ambience through accumulated fixtures. Layer sophisticated lighting elements with ornate brass chandeliers featuring multiple arms, vintage table lamps topped with patterned shades, and wall sconces displaying curved brass details that become sculptural focal points when illuminated. Position candlelight from antique candelabras, creating warm pools of ambient illumination throughout spaces, establishing atmospheric depth where vintage light fixtures function simultaneously as functional illumination and collected decorative art pieces. Complete ambience. Synthesis of maximalist expression. Synthesize all maximalist design principles into cohesive room experiences featuring abundant throw pillows in damask and floral patterns, layered rugs celebrating pattern mixing, and vintage curtains in rich fabrics creating textural abundance. Position upholstered furniture in jewel tones alongside antique textiles draped artfully, layering botanical elements, ornate mirrors, frames, and warm golden candlelight, creating completely realized maximalist comfort where every surface celebrates. Thank you for this complete maximalist interiors. Celebrate accumulated beauty, historical reference, and personal expression, establishing sanctuary